Oh, you're going to have to do better than that. You guys doing all right, yes? It's gorgeous weather out here at the Beavers Bend Folk Festival. We'd like to take just a moment before Kim gets up here and wows us with her musical ability to introduce some special friends that we have from the state of Oklahoma. Would you please welcome to the stage Mr. Don Arms with the Forest Heritage Center.
Thank you. We're glad you're here today. How many of you are from out of state? Just tell me that. Just show me some hands. That's what we like to see. Because tourism and the logging industry are the businesses here. That's the big industry. And of course, Representative Tadlock, who I'll introduce here in a little bit, will also tell you that there's a cattle business down here too that's pretty important. But they all go hand in hand to make this a great part of the state and a great part of the world. What a beautiful setting. You just don't find places any more beautiful. Now, I don't care what state you go to. My daughter lives in Oregon, works in the wine business. We just got back from Oregon just a night or two ago, and it's beautiful, but it has nothing on southeast Oklahoma. It's just an awesome, awesome place to be. We're glad you're here. This Beavers Bend Folk Festival, by the way, I'm Don Arms, and I'm a former state representative from way down in deep southwest Oklahoma, where the trees are called mesquites. And I came here several years ago the first time in a program called Leadership Oklahoma, and was just amazed at what I saw. After I got out of the legislature, we have term limits in Oklahoma, and I termed out last year, and I've now become what they call a greasy lobbyist. And that's a lot different than an honorable politician, but it's actually one of my clients and one of the folks I work for is the Forestry Association down here in southeast Oklahoma, excuse me, as well as the Forest Heritage Center. I do some legislative relations work for them also. So having knowing that legislative process, that's where my role kind of comes in as their liaison with the state of Oklahoma and things like that. So we do a lot of work. A lot of folks down here don't realize that this folk festival was designed to extend the tourism season into the fall. Typically places like this, it's a summer destination, and people come in the summer with their kids and their boats. They wanted to do something some 20 years ago that would increase the visitation and get folks in here in the fall, and as you can see, fall is a wonderful time to be in southeast Oklahoma in this beautiful setting. The trees are starting to make some noise, as you can see, beautiful colors and things like this. They started this years ago, and the folks that run the Heritage Center in the park, they made some trips to the Ozark Folk Center to secure musicians and demonstrators and vendors for this event. And it extended the tourism season starting in 1994, so it's been a great success. We're thrilled that you all have come here today. Today, the Beavers Bend Folk Festival and Craft Show has a $2.5 million economic impact for right here in southeast Oklahoma. To the tourism industry and the local vendors and the cabin people and all that. So it's a 3-day festival, 10 to 17,000 visitors annually, and we're just really, really proud of it, and we're proud that you're here to enjoy it with us. We want to welcome you out, as I said. First of all, what I'd like to do is I'm going to introduce some folks to you to have come up. Right here in southeast Oklahoma is a good friend of mine, a new legislator, but just a great guy that really cares and is very passionate about his part of the state. I want to bring to the stage, and I've got a couple other guests that will come with him in a minute, but first of all, I want you to hear from Representative Johnny Tadlock, right here in southeast Oklahoma.
Welcome to southeast Oklahoma, everybody. If you've never been here before, isn't it great out here? If you have been here, welcome back. You know, we talk about tourism and all the things that it does here. Most of you that, you're not from this area, you may not know, but I was actually the sheriff here in this county also, which District 1 takes in a little bit more than McCurtain County, but I was actually the sheriff here. I was in law enforcement for 28 years. So I certainly know what the tourism industry has and what it does for the folks here in our area. And there again, like I said, I welcome you here, and we thank everybody for coming out. And we also want to let everybody know that next year, bring about 3 or 4 more people with you. We'll have some other cabins built back up here. The things that we see here in this part of the area also is the economic growth that it produces here. Jobs and everything else, we're so fortunate to have this part of the area, and it's growing. Like I said, for me being sheriff here, I've seen from over 20 years of growth up in this part of the area and all the things that it helps this county do. We also, there's not a better place to have it than right here at the Heritage Center. A lot of people miss this even all across the state. They don't know what we have because they haven't been here. But if you come here, I guarantee you'll have something to take back where you live at. I guarantee you will. There again, welcome to Southeast Oklahoma from Johnny Tadlock and all the folks here in Southeast Oklahoma.
Thank you, John. Yeah, we'll have this tour completely up, and it costs some money, I think, by the time we're done. What a great, passionate representative. I have really enjoyed my time getting to know Johnny and more importantly, his part of the state. And again, he's exactly right. It's a beautiful spot. One of my jobs as a legislative liaison and kind of things I have to try to do are get other people from other parts of Oklahoma to come see this place. And our next special guest I'm going to have come to the stage is a gentleman that I served in the legislature with, and he's from Tornado Alley, Moore, Oklahoma, where the big tornado hit just a year or two ago and a couple of years ago, and what a great guy. He's from out in western Oklahoma originally and ended up in Moore, and he's in the home building business, and he's just a great asset to have in the legislature. My good friend from Moore, Oklahoma, Representative District 63, Mark McBride. 53.
Thanks, Don. And, you know, I love the woods, and I had no idea that this was going on down here. Matter of fact, I didn't even know. I thought we were coming to spend a weekend in a cabin. I didn't know we were coming to this, but I've enjoyed serving with Don and Johnny, and this is an awesome gym that the state of Oklahoma has, and I'm just glad you invited me to come down and going to enjoy it, I guess, today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. You bet. And he doesn't realize we just got in last night after dark, and so we kind of went to eat breakfast this morning. We drove around just a little bit. What Mark doesn't understand, he's fixing to go in, and I'm going to tour him through the Forest Heritage Center and show him how nature and the logging industry can coexist so beautifully here in southeast Oklahoma and be two huge economic drivers. And he's going to see that. We're going to go look at some other beautiful things. We're going to enjoy the Folk Festival, and we're going to do some stuff tomorrow. He's not even started yet. He and his wife Jennifer are here, and we're just going to have a great time with them. It takes lots of people around the state to make things like the tourism mission of Oklahoma work, and they have, from each part of the state, there are commissioners, folks that are appointed by the governor to oversee the mission of tourism and to make sure that these kind of festivals happen well, and guests are treated well. The lady that I'm going to bring up now is from right here in southeast Oklahoma. She is State of Oklahoma Tourism Commissioner, Miss Robin Batson. Robin, come right on up if you would.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. We're so excited you're all here this wonderful weekend. The weather couldn't be better. We're so proud of Southeastern Oklahoma. I'm honored to serve as the Tourism Commissioner from this area. We talk about the Forest Heritage Center. I want to point out it's a very special partnership, something I remember from years and years on the Tourism Commission. We've tried really hard to have good partnerships amongst state entities and local entities. The Forest Heritage Center is a private foundation, local board of directors driven entity. All of this is done by the Forest Heritage Commission board. So you're in a really special place. A lot of our state parks are not blessed with this particular setup. I hope that can happen for many of them. There are a lot of partnerships across the state, but just really enjoy the Forest Heritage Center. Come back on a non-holiday weekend and you're going to enjoy a beautiful museum and a little quieter atmosphere that does highlight our forestry industry, which is really important to all of us down here. Has been for, I don't know, 50 and 100 years. The Derrick's family, many years ago. That history is all encompassed in the Forest Heritage Museum when we're not in the middle of the festival. So please come back and visit that facility. It's just so beautiful, and thank you for coming. Please come back. Enjoy the hospitality. We're proud to have you, and we're proud to be from southeastern Oklahoma. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin. We appreciate you. And I'd be remiss if I didn't introduce the young man who kind of oversees this operation. He's sitting down here videoing this process so he can frame us with it later. Mr. Doug Zook, he is the director of the Forest Heritage Center. Doug's down here in the brown jacket, does a great job putting things like this together in arm in arm with the tourism folks here in southeast Oklahoma. So without further ado, there's some great music ahead of you. We sat around and heard these guys pick and sing last night, and I tell you what, they are awesome. You're going to enjoy it. there is no limit, as Robin says, there's no limit to the times you can come back to Southeast Oklahoma. This is not a one visit, you know, one arm band. You can ride this ride as many times as you want. So come back often, come back different times of the year. We love it that you're here. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
One more time, these, you know, this festival, I don't know if you guys have ever been part of putting on a festival before, but Father, Son, and Friends in particular travels the country playing folk festivals and Irish festivals and Celtic festivals, and it is an absolute job of love. It's a labor of love that you have to put on a festival of this quality, and we've seen it all across the country. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort from the state on down. One more time, how about a nice round of applause for all of the representatives and commissioners from the state of Oklahoma for bringing this fine little gym for you folks down here in Southeast Oklahoma. Thanks again. McAllister and Lansford are coming up on stage, so sit tight. We're going to have them up here in just about 2 minutes.